What's poppin'? Where y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast? Top of the morning. Once again, got another video for y'all. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right. So this is where do I want to go with this? A video really about when you dating a woman, what are her true intentions, right? And a lot of the questions you should ask in the earlier stages should reveal a lot of those intentions, but let's just keep it 100. Most of us haven't been taught to vet and go after things with certain intentions, right? We just kind of go with the flow, and then we end up finding out when it's too late. So I really want to put a number on it, but I'm just going to just have a random list of things that indicate a woman is really rocking with you for you, right? Yeah, there's a lot of talking points, especially like in the manosphere. This would be considered a manosphere video, but this is kind of like an anti-manosphere, anti-feminism video. This is really just pro healthy relationship or healthy interaction, even if it's not a relationship, right? Because I feel like the red pill stuff is kind of toxic, but then the feminism aspect is toxic. So this is just a drama-free, toxic-free environment. So let's get right into it. All right, so number one, right? Respect is everything. And when you don't put yourself in a place to kind of nip certain things in the bud and you let things to fester and linger on, to then reverse engineer and then try to go back and correct things you should address. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's an uphill climb, right? It's a lot of maintenance, especially if you've been very passive, letting shit slide. You're not really being assertive. Not assertive, but pretty much like you standing on business as far as what you stand for, what you will and won't allow. Your non-negotiables. And a lot of these things we don't understand within ourselves until we go through certain things. And it kind of reveals itself on its own. So a lot of this stuff you're probably not going to be able to understand until you go through your experiences, and you might, be fortunate to hit everything you want. And then at other times you might pick some out the bag and it may not be something you got to put back in and try again, right? So respect is everything. You lose a woman's respect, it's hard to really regain it, rebuild it. And, also as well, that goes along with trust, right? You lose a woman's trust, hard to really regain that back because it comes with baggage, trauma, trigger issues. You can go to counseling, you can go to therapy, you can read books, but a lot of this stuff, well, regarding respect, is preventative measures, right? Hey, we all fuck up, we all let certain shit slide, we have to learn the hard way. Rather female end up walking over us, taking advantage, gaslighting. So a lot of these things may not be apparent. You might not be prepared for it because you're not battle tested, right? You haven't been out in the field. You haven't got that. My bad, y'all. I got somebody walking around. All right, my bad, y'all. That was kind of creepy. But anyways, right? Back to my point. Basically, if you don't have the experience, then it's hard to see the red flags of the things you will and won't allow. So sometimes you gotta just put yourself out there, see what lands, see what sticks, so on and so forth. So I just say all that to say is respect is everything. You don't have respect, none of these other things really matter, right? So the second thing is, and this is where that beta male, alpha male, sigma male, all these archetypes, it puts everything in a box. And I don't feel like it's the end all be all, right? Because what you would consider a beta male, some women just feel like that's ideal, right? And I'm not talking about far as how much money you earn or your personality, your character and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just right time, right place. And a woman with integrity would understand that, right? Best isn't always better. Meaning that, the whole hypergamy thing, like, women always date up. You know, they don't date down and all this other stuff. They want this kind of person and all this superficial stuff. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, right? You got dudes that don't know how to fight, dudes that don't make no money, dudes that just regular and just, I don't want to say weird, but just kind of like abnormal, right? They have I don't want to say like no cool points, but they just don't fit within the social norms of what somebody would seem ideal, right? But a woman to fall in love with that person, and you know, the guy that rides a motorcycle that's muscle bound, and you know, and sit up there and got all these other things and stuff like that. You would think, oh yeah, I could take your chick. If a woman is really into somebody, bro, it's just, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's just like, she would really have to go out her way. And most women that's really dug in and bought in to a guy that she may not seem ideal, but she bought in, she ain't gonna turn her back, right? Most women ain't gonna do that, right? Now, you can take that for what you want, you know, but if you have a woman's innocence, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, dude. She ain't going nowhere. So, I'm just saying all this to say is that if you end up with the wrong woman, right? And this is the flip side to this concept. You end up with the wrong woman, or let's not say the entirely wrong woman, but let's just say like not the ideal prospect. Therefore, you have to overcompensate to make it an even playing field. You're gonna work harder, twice as hard to get half as less. Meaning that if you do decide you're in a relationship or you dealing with a woman that where you feel like you gotta overexert yourself, you gotta overcompensate and overachieve to keep this woman happy, she ain't really into you. She's just tolerating you. Because a woman is really gonna be observant and understanding, all right, I don't want to be a burden. I just want to be someone that's going to add and not take away. So what's going to end up happening, right, is that, and this is where the whole beta male concept comes in, is because if you're the guy having to run your credit card and spend all your time and all your energy, she don't care about your end game, your end goal. She's only care about what you do for her, and it's just her world and you're just living in it. What's going to end up happening, right? If you do stop talking to her or whatever the case, and you do run into the right woman, two things might happen. One is that the first thing that's going to end up happening is that you're already in an overachiever mindset, and you will probably be giving her things that the last woman wanted that she don't really care for. She'll appreciate it, but it don't make or break how she views you. That's the first thing. The second thing, right? Hold on. Switch lanes over here real quick. Switch lanes. The second thing is that you'll be having these triggers and this trauma, and it kind of bleeds into the first point. That, oh, well, the last woman wanted this, so I'm going to have to be performative and live up to what I feel like, because in your mind, she's indoctrinated you to think that, oh, well, all women would want this. You feel me? So now you're getting in your own way, thinking about what she's capable of, what she gonna say, what she not gonna say, so on and so forth. So the big picture I'm trying to paint here on both sides is that when you have compatibility with a woman, right? And this is where, y'all equally on that same playing field regarding y'all compatibility. It doesn't have to be status, money, fame, just compatibility. I feel like then both of y'all will be placed in a place where y'all both will compromise for the bigger prize, right? It's always the bigger picture, so you're gonna think of yourself second, and she'll think of herself second, meaning that y'all covering each other unconditionally. That's a true connection right there. And like I said before, if you're with the right woman, you know, because you gotta get a career and you gotta make $100,000 a year and you gotta drive a nice car with the chains on and all this other stuff. You don't want them kind of women, right? I mean, unless you're a person that, like, if she a drop dead gorgeous woman, okay, all right, I get it, right? But a regular, average, basic chick, career, no career, just as long as you have a direction, right? If you write books, you got a hobby, you feel me? You got things that complete you without her, then that creates enough space for you not to sit up there and be all up under her day in and day out and not giving her time to miss you, time to think about you, you know? So that's all I got for y'all, man. So hopefully this gave y'all some insight. Outside of that, tap in with y'all on the next one. I'm up out of here.